Hello, Adam. Thank you for interviewing with us.
Salut.
Salute. We're here after the painful shoulder course, a beautiful course. So we would want to ask you some questions. So the first one is if you can give us some advices for a beginner physio, how he can choose a course for him that it's okay for a beginner one, because we have a lot of them and it's kind of hard to choose.
Sure. Well, the first thing is make sure you come on my course, because my course is the best course ever, obviously. That goes without saying.
Of course.
Of
Yes.
course. But it can be very difficult, I think, for young physios to know whether there's a good course out there or a course that's not that good without actually first trying it. But for me, over the years, the courses that I've done that haven't been that useful are normally ones that are promising quick fixes, ones that are giving you recipes on how to assess and treat, rather than trying to use your clinical reasoning skills.
Okay.
So I think if there's any promotion of a quick fix or miracle results or simple methods, those are the courses that I'd say to
avoid.
Be careful of. Yeah, you know, it's like anything. Sometimes courses, you know, you can get bits of it that are good, and then other bits that are not so good. But I often find those sort of courses, yeah, they don't tend to be ones that I found very useful.
Okay, thank you. Another question would be if you can tell us 2 or 3 things in which an MSK specialist should be good at, like anatomy, biomechanics, or what do you think?
Yep, so I think there's a little bit of anatomy and biomechanics that you need to be aware of, but I wouldn't say it's up there as the top 2 or 3 things.
Okay.
I think it's probably within the top 20 things, I'd say,
Okay.
anatomy and biomechanics. I actually think the first thing that any musculoskeletal therapist needs to have is good communication skills. So I think number 1 is being able to communicate with a wide spectrum of people who are undergoing a wide spectrum of emotions and problems. Having this ability to talk to people who are afraid, are scared, angry, frustrated, who are young, who are old, who are in between, who may have, you know, some differences in education levels as well. Sometimes, again, having our ability to tailor our information and education to people is the key thing to do. I also think something else that you need to be a good musculoskeletal therapist is some compassion and genuine care of other people's problems. You need to be empathetic. You need to actually want to try and help somebody with a problem. And if you have lost that and you don't feel that, then you're probably not going to be a very good musculoskeletal therapist. Okay,
thank you. So we see different response maybe from the one we imagined, because we get stuck in these technical things, you know, and sometimes we forget about.
I think we focus too much on, you know, our assessment skills, our treatment skills, our exercise selection skills. As I say, I don't want you to think those are not important. Of course they are. But the first thing you need to do is talk to people, communicate with people. You need to find out information about what's going on and their problems before you can start to even think about how I'm going to help this person.
I see.
And as I said, I think, you know, the main thing is just having some genuine care and compassion to help people who are going through some difficult periods in time.
Thank you. So if we talk today about shoulders, one of the questions should be about shoulders. So how can we see frozen shoulder and get like some things to understand that it is a frozen shoulder and it is not something else?
Yeah, well, frozen shoulder is a condition that after 40 or 50 years of research, we've still got a lot of uncertainty about who does have a frozen shoulder, who doesn't have a frozen shoulder. I think a lot of people are told they got frozen shoulders when they actually haven't. So the clues for me that somebody has a true pathological frozen shoulder, a capsule problem, that's highly innervated, highly inflamed, highly painful, is the severity and the irritability of their pain.
Okay.
This is not a subtle condition. This is not just causing painful arcs. This is not just hurting on 1 or 2 tasks or activities. It affects all activities. It affects night pain. It's there throughout the day. It hurts at rest. And it's really easily irritated. And they'll also have a gross loss of movement around the shoulder. So it won't be just a subtle bit of movement or stiffness loss. They won't be able to externally rotate, normally be on neutral. They won't be normally able to elevate probably much more than 90 degrees.
I see.
So if somebody's got that presentation of severe, widespread pain around the whole shoulder, upper arm area, it's highly irritable, very sensitive, affecting all tasks and activities, and isn't moving much through external rotation and elevation as they try to move it or as you try to move it, I would say that's likely to be a frozen shoulder.
Thank you for the answer. Another question that came into my mind now is if you can tell us how can we, or what are a few things that we can look when we are reading a study, because nowadays everybody is citing studies for everything, so we got a lot of information, and how we can filtrate them. So.
Great question, and I think, you know, being able to analyse critically a research paper takes time, takes practice. So I think the more you do it, the better you get at it. But the first things I tell people to keep an eye out for is who has written the paper, why have they written the paper, where is it published, and what's the author bias likely to be. So you can normally find that out by a little bit of a background research into the author, find out who they're employed by, what their interests are, and then have a look at the research paper and what question they're asking, and have a look maybe at some, again, factors around the journal that it's been published in. Is the journal a reputable journal? Has it got good peer processes? Or is it one of these journals that sometimes doesn't do good peer review? They just take people's money and then publish things.
Okay, so it's not just about reading studies and telling things.
Yeah, that's the next part. The first thing to do, as I say, is just have a quick scan and say the potential biases from the journal and the author, and see if there's anything there that you know is probably going to make this paper poor.
Okay, and I doubt that everyone in social media is asking how they can find you, but I'm gonna still ask it. So, where can people find you on social media, or where can they find your courses?
So on most of the social media platforms, I'm on Instagram the most, and it's under my name, Adam Meakins. And I also have a website that's called The Sports Physio. And I've also got a new website for a new course that I'm doing, a mentorship program called Rehab Essentials. And that's adammeakins.com.
Okay, so we definitely already subscribed, but we invite everybody else to do it. Thank you, Adam. A great talk.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.